Well, good day, viewers, and welcome to Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And today is Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Time is moving along, and today is Sunday afternoon fireside chat. I'm kind of just getting things going here, and as you can see, winter has came back. All right, we're going to get looking at the weather here in a minute. All right, we're going to have a look at the weather here now. So at the moment we are at -7 degrees Celsius. And I get the pointer if it's warmed up here. Oh, it is kind of warmed up, I guess. And that is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And the winds are west, 21 miles an hour. And they're saying light snow shower and drifting snow. So I would say out in the country that's the drifting snow, I would say, would be happening. It's not so much here, but out in the country it would be. And what have we got for today? Well, the cats are supposed to get up to 0 degrees. I really can't see it doing that. It's still -7. Well, maybe. So chance of flurries, and then same thing for tomorrow, and -1. 6 degrees on Tuesday, so there's going to be more melting. Mix of sun and cloud. 5 on Wednesday. Rain or showers or flurries or this and that and the other thing. You never know what's going to go on. Thursday -2, mix of sun and cloud. Friday's 3 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. 9 degrees for next Saturday, mix of sun and cloud. So there is my remote microphone. So I'm going to try something different just for fun, as my father used to say. And it's got its blue light is on, and I've tested it 2 or 3 different times. I'm trying to put it in different places to see how it sounds. I don't know how these things work. And I don't know. But anyway, sometimes they sound like an alley cat in the basement, and other times they sound like a ghost up in the attic. So I've had no idea what is what with that. But there are people that know that, and I am one that does not know that. So I'm just kind of fooling along here, just like the high-tech stuff at Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. So I'm going to do a quick turn you around here, and I'll show you what else I'm doing. So my foolishness today is I got the second microphone up there with the blue light on. Now whether the two of them are working together or they're not, I have no idea. Anyway, we'll see if it makes any difference. Again, just for fun, as my father used to say. So we'll do a quick walk around the garage here. I'm sure you know that it's messy, and I think it's probably messier than it has been. And the only cats, I'm in trouble with this thing here, boys. Yeah, there's going to be a few thinkings going on here. I thought I was going to get away with just fixing that one as easily as I fixed that one, and that's not going to happen. I got to split some kindling. I don't have any kindling, so I might do a video on that and explain to you why I have that piece of wood there. That might be something I'll do this week, maybe. So these 2 saws are going to have to go on the back burner for a while. That spindle on that case deck is going to take me longer than what I expected. So I got to move them out of there because I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on that, I guess, on the spindle. So there's a nice picture of the case. Well, she's quite a machine, that thing, I'll tell you. Can't wait to get the loader on it and get it working. All right, so I guess I'll get into Sir Dave's favorite tractor's snow thrower here today. Some of you may know that I'm waiting for parts, and that is what I'm doing. So I'm hoping to have the parts here by the end of this coming week, I guess, say Thursday or Friday. And hopefully what's coming is the same as what I took out of there. So everything will just go back together and not have to do any more altercations or alter, what do you call that? Something. Any more adjustments, let's put it that way. Yeah, okay. So anyway, what I'm going to do when I do get these bearings is I'm going to put them on, and I'm going to put the side plates there that you can see on the top. There's a set of side plates for each side. So they sandwich the bearing in between. So I'll put all that stuff on, and I'm just going to just very loosely snug the nuts on and not have them very tight. Just kind of hand tight, maybe just a little bit more with a wrench, not much. And I'll do the same thing with the locking collar on the bearing, maybe just on, and that's all. Then I'll start the tractor and let it run a little bit, turn the blower on and let it run. And I'm thinking that maybe while it's running, I'll slowly start tightening the bolts up on each side on those plates to sandwich the bearings in. And then stop it and then finish tightening maybe. And then put the locking collar on the bearing, and I'm going to put a little bit of goop on the locking bolt that goes through to lock it to the shaft, and the goop will act as a nylock nut. It will keep the locking bolt from coming loose, but it will also allow me to take it off without any or very little effort. Just the same as one of them nylock nuts, you know, they're easy to get off if you need them to get off. And they do a great job of locking so that they don't come loose. So that's what the goop is going to do for me on that. I use goop for pretty well everything. And Gator knows that. Gator has his stuff he likes to use, and I got my stuff that I like to use. So we each have our things. Anyway, there's a little chat about that. So I'll have to wait another week or so before I get back onto that. I'll have to wait to get the parts and see if they're the same. So on to the firewood here now. The firewood is going down fairly well now. We're already through the first week of March, and I'm still going to be burning wood for the next. I wouldn't doubt that I'll be still burning wood in the first week of May. So I don't know if that's going to keep me going or not, although I have wood outside, but it's always just a game to see if it lasts or if it don't last. Anyway, it's getting down there. And it's just old wood, doesn't matter, you know, but it's soft wood, small wood. It's not the premium wood that some people have. I don't have premium wood here, that's for sure. All wood burns, and that's just the way it goes around this place. Now, I just hope I don't have to burn that. I don't want to be burning Kenny's Cape Breton birch firewood, that's for sure. Yeah, don't worry, Kenny, I'm not going to burn it. That's going to be staying here, that's for sure. Anyway, Kind of funny when you fill it up for the winter. You got all this all filled up here and all over here and down there. And you think to yourself, holy cats, I'll never burn all that. Yeah, right. That, eh? Gone. All right, so we're going to chat a little bit about the case deck here and the troubles that I am into. So, what I found yesterday, I did a video on that, so some of you may already know. This side isn't going as well as the other side. And this is seized to the spindle, and the bearing may be seized to the spindle, it may not be, but it still works, but not necessarily a good bearing, but it does work. So I got to do some thinking and some wondering and so anyway, Joseph at Garden Tractor Boy suggested just to make a new spindle, and that was a good idea, but I have no way of making this thread here, and getting this welded to that straight every which way would be quite a challenge too. But anyway, it is in the back of my mind. I may look at that, but at the moment I'm thinking that I'm going to try and get this coupling off and then weld this up with the MIG welder and then file it off and see what happens. And like I say, I'll see if you can get this off too. Now I found out things. Of course, I'm not a case. I never worked on these things before, so I don't know. It's like everything I work on. It's just you don't work on it all the time. You don't know. So I did find out from a fellow that's kind of into this business, and he's in the United States. And I think he has a little business there where he sells parts for these case tractors and implements. But he says that this is supposed to be tight between the bearing and this bearing. I thought it just was loose in there and just I really didn't know what it was for. But anyway, I can see his point now. So the nut that comes down would tighten this bearing onto the coupler onto the bottom bearing. That would make the center race of the bearing turn without it turning on the shaft, is what I'm getting out of it. So this has to be a certain length. So I'm gonna, when I get that off, I'll measure it. He did mention the length that it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be torqued to 100 pounds, those nuts, because if they back off, then they become loose, and then this becomes loose, and then the bearing is not tight, so it then can just spin on the spindle without turning the bearing. So I don't know if that's what happened here or not, but anyway, it's a good thought, that's for sure. And so I still, like I say, I still have that in my mind. I might look at that, but I'm going to try and fix that one first, I think. That's what's going to take place. All right, we'll move on to something else here. All right, there we are. Now we're going to have a sit down now. My old back is getting sore from walking around, so we'll sit down. All right, we'll have a quick little chat here about something else. My son and I My son mostly has been talking, well, the last year or 2 years now, to clean up the woods over at the land that I used to own. So anyway, in the woods we have, uh, parts garden tractors and lawn tractors. And he's been kind of wanting to drag all them out of the woods and put them all in a certain spot. There's still parts that are good on them that we may need. And it's a good idea. It's just that we never got to it, and we need to. He's wanting to do that, so. And so anyway, we were talking about that yesterday when I was over at his place. We didn't do a whole lot at his place yesterday. It was kind of windy and cold. Holy gas, the wind was just a whistling over there yesterday. But anyway, we were talking about springtime and what is going to go on and things to do. And of course, there's always things to do. And we've already got 2 things to do right off the bat. So one of them is maybe clean up the woods. The other one is there's a pile of stuff, and I've mentioned it last year when I was sawing up the wood over there. There was a pile of old wood and old this and old that, and then there's that Chinese knotweed that grows up through it all, and we've been slowly picking away, removing all that stuff. So I was hoping to get to that last October. Of course, didn't get to it, so he's got a bin ordered, so, and it's coming, when did he say that? Oh, the long weekend in May. So that pile is going to get gone through, and all the stuff that's no good, which is most of it, is going to go into that bin. And anything that wood-wise that might be useful, we're going to save it, right? So you can't throw it away. So you just never know what you might want. So that's going to get done too. So, and it has to get done. We can't just say, oh, well, we'll get to that, we'll get to it. No, it's going to be done because the bin is coming, and that's it. So now getting back to the tractors and stuff that are in the woods, it should be done too, and hopefully we can get to that. And as I said, some of you know where I'm talking about, the woods that I used to own, and where the field is there where I do some of my wood cutting, and I'm into the woods getting wood, and I'm going into the woods dumping stuff in the woods, and there's been different videos on that area of my land, which used to be my land. And anyway, and we cut the grass there and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the land has been transferred to my son and my daughter. So I do not own it anymore. And he is now the grand poobah. So he's talking about moving these tractors and stuff, and I said, well, you're the grand poobah now, so you can say what you want. So anyway, as time moves along, and it's going to happen to all of us, and I just wanted to make sure that this land was going to be in the family, so we gave it to my son and daughter. So that's that. And but I'm hoping that I can still use it like I still own it, but you just never know what the grand poobah is going to say. Anyway, that's a little thing that's been on my mind now for a couple of weeks. It's been transferred, I guess. I guess it's been transferred maybe 3 weeks now or something like that. But anyway. So that's that. So I guess we might as well just move along onto the stickers here. And like I say, there's springtime work coming up already. So, all right, so on to the stickers. Now, again, I haven't been watching that. Well, I had been watching videos, but I can't keep up with them. There's so many good videos around that, and from great channels, and it's just hard to keep up with everything. And I'm sure that everybody else is in the same boat. Now, I'll get myself in here without falling down. And of course, I forgot the studio light. Just hang on a second, I'll have to get things arranged here. All right, so we're back here now. We got the studio light on. Boy, there's some high-tech stuff here. There's those garden tractors and firewood. Look at that. That's some high-tech lighting. Oh dear, the things I do for entertainment. All right, so let's get into it here. So we got Grappy's workshop here. I'll get the camera up. There you go. Grappy had a great video there on Friday about the Fitville work boots, and I guess they make other shoes and sneakers and all that kind of stuff. So Fitville is the name of the company for these boots and things. So Grappy certainly likes them boots and whatever other shoes and sneakers that he has there. And he has a discount code, so if you're interested in those kind of things, you could go through his channel and get a discount on those boots. And Grappy did just a great job of explaining the boots. Yeah, pretty near made me go buy a pair right off the bat. Anyway, someday I'm going to have to get boots, and I'll have to try and look at that. I need boots that have a steel toe, or maybe nowadays it's a composite toe or something, whatever they call it. But since I do things that involve heavy items, and I don't want them falling on my toes. But usually on the boots that I have, when I have a heavy item, it doesn't fall on the toe, it falls up further on the foot, and it's not protected there. So I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so we'll move along. We have Murphy mowers. It's like me normally. I can't remember what they've done. Sure, Lee had a video out this week, but I can't remember now. Yeah, all right. Okay, we'll keep moving along here, I guess. Len's keeping busy. Len's always busy. I got to keep my camera up here. I have to do an adjustment there. Yeah, Len is always busy with something, wood or garden tractors or something. There's always something going on the go with Len. And then the garden tractor boy had a video out yesterday, and I think it was on the 3 Vitamatics project, I think. Well, I haven't seen that yet, Joseph, so I'll have to look at that. In the backyard with Dale, and Dale had his stand-on tracked loader machine out doing a little bit of work there. The last video I saw. So Dale was liking that machine. Then we had GVL, the old church, Mr. Gary. And then we have Kenny at Open Air Adventure. And what did Kenny have going there? Holy cats, I can't remember that either. Yeah, all right, so moving along. Dave, RCAF, Polar Express. Dave is out with his great little tractor there today. Open cab station, or open station cab, or something. No cab, I guess is what it means. Anyway, hit a bunch of snow, had to move all that stuff, so as usual, that little tractor does all the work. It's a great machine, you know. If I had the money and there was a dealer here in my location, that would be the tractor I would buy, because you can certainly see from Dave's videos That little tractor is, as he says, is a workhorse, and that is for sure. And we have maintenance with Mike. What was Mike showing? Oh yeah, he had a little short video there on headlamp lights, like my high-tech studio lights. Yeah, that's a good video on those. He had a couple of different pairs there showing the pluses and minuses of them. Brock at Lewis Mowers and Boats. Brock hurt his back, so there's been no videos there. And we have Retired for Life. And then we have Rick's Outdoors. Rick and Donita are busy. Yeah, they gave away the belt on Friday that Robert Little is going to make for the winner. So that was a good thing. And they're still splitting wood and moving along. Donita is still liking her new conveyor. Knowles, Garden Tractors, and Firewood. He's still busy. He's got too many things on his mind of how to fix stuff and where to get stuff. And anyway, like I say, if I was doing this stuff every day, it would be a lot easier to do. You'd know where to get stuff and who to see. And anyway, you're only doing it every now and again. It's just not as easy. Anyway, a little update maybe. I've got to send some stickers out, and I'm getting low, so I'm going to order new stickers, I think. And it was suggested to me to make this Knowles Garden Tractors and Firewood bigger. Get rid of the glare there. So a video a while ago from Chris in the Woodyard picked out my sticker and mentioned that it's a great looking sticker and it's done very nicely, but the name is too small. It needs to be bigger so it stands out. So I kind of get what he's getting at. So I'm going to look into maybe doing that. Let's see if I can find one here. Well, yeah, there's Allen Family Firewood. Well, that stands out pretty good. You can see that. Gators World, that stands out quite good. K&L Firewood, well, that's pretty easy to see what that is, isn't it? As compared to mine. So I can understand Chris's thought there. So I may do some changing around. The sticker picture will be the same. It's just the lettering is going to be bigger and maybe a different color. I made the color to make it look like the inside of split wood. That's why I used that color on the lettering. So I may still use that, or I may change it a little bit. I don't know. And you can see Outdoors in the 608 how that stands out. Larry Cluck Outdoors, how that stands out. Even Club Dora stands out. And so that's something that I may do. Okay, Twin Brook Acres, Rick. And then we have Everyday Projects, Craig. Gravely Man Small Engine Repair, Artie. Artie's the man to go see or go talk to about the older two-wheel garden tractor Gravies. He's got lots of knowledge on those. Jeremiah had a video out this morning at the Outdoors in the 608. He was splitting up hackberry wood. So I guess it's similar to ash, but not quite as good. It's also similar to elm because it's kind of stringy, but apparently it splits not too bad. So, and I don't know if there's any of that kind of wood around here or not. But anyway, Tucker and I out and about, cod raving. Brian was had a video there doing. There's quite a few different things on there today, talking about the wood stoves, and he's making shelves in his shop there above his workbench, and all kinds of different topics today on that one. Big Sons, I'm not sure what he's up to. He's probably cutting grass by now, maybe. Then we have Alan Family Firewood, always into the firewood business, them too. Log Father Jeff is at the wood also, and has it was having a problem with his road where he lives, that the weight restrictions were kind of low on it, and it was going to be hard for him to get wood delivered to him. So he's got that fixed up, I guess. So he's got the weight limit raised on that road so that they can still get their wood. Darrell Wells, different stuff. Father and Son Outdoors. The Bradleys on Catbird Hill. Gator's World. Gator was out with the wheel horse, Toro, with the snowblower and the cab, and heated cab, and was still having some snow, but I don't know if he has any now or not, but anyway, good video. K&L Firewood. Well, you know that Hoosier firewood hysteria is coming up pretty soon, only 3 weeks or so away, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, April 4th and 5th, I believe. That's going to be a good one. I wish I could go to it, but anyway, I'm hoping, and I know that there will be lots of videos taken with that. So there'll be lots of good videos on that after the first week of April. Ross on the Land. What was Ross doing? I can't remember now. And Larry Cluck. Club Dora, Al. And what else? What else? I don't know if do we have anything else here? Oh yes, Tractor Talk with Gary. Yes, holy cats, I can't miss that one. So I'd be ousted. Anyway, Tractor Talk with Gary. So Gary had a video on the auction again. More great stuff for sale there, boys. He's right in the area where stuff is being sold. Yes, good video on that, and then there's another one coming out pretty soon, I think. So quite a sticker that Gary's got here. Holy cats, I think it must be 10, 11 inches long. And he's got one of his Kubota. And we have the Gary approved exhaust smoke coming out the top of the tractor here. All right, so that's going to be it for now. I guess the Sunday fireside chat is over. I have no idea how long it is, so I better shut it off before the camera shuts it off. Anyway, have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, and we'll be chatting with you soon.